According to the Bureau for Economic Research, the market consensus was for 46.8% year-on-year increase. The largest contributions were in the motor vehicle parts and other transport equipment, which contributed 8.9% to the increase. The petroleum industry was the largest negative contributor to the month-on-month figure and contributed -1%. The manufacturing sector continued to battle with ongoing load shedding and lockdown restrictions.
I think it's a bit of a wait and see, and let's look at more of the data. This is disappointing, but we've got to look at what the next data sets look like, especially with that kind of increased confidence, expectations of growth. I think what we've also got to track is how big is this load shedding effect, because we know in May there was an element of load shedding. We know that June was even worse from a load shedding perspective. We've also been seeing that raw material shortages are there. So anyone that's importing raw materials for their manufacturing process, the question for me now is this impacting output at the moment? Is that one of the factors that led to this lower output?
Basic iron and steel contributed 8% to the increase, whereas food and beverages contributed 1%. The current level 4 lockdown is expected to have a negative impact on the sector.
I think the current lockdown will have an impact on alcohol sales and your retail industry. So there's going to be those knock-on effects. I think the worry still is if you look at food and beverage sector, if you think of conferencing, you think of people sitting down and eating. We know there's pressure there. So even in a resilient sector, anyone that's focused on supplying office parks or conference venues, etc., there is impacts of the lockdown that are still overhanging on those sorts of sectors.
Good news is that the ongoing global economic recovery is expected to support South Africa's production sectors. Naledi Matlapeng, SABC News, Johannesburg.